Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the MUVI Television Primetime News, and I'm Keith Mwemba. We'll look at the stories making the headlines this evening. RB to be put to rest on Friday, March 18th, 2022. Veteran politician Vernon Mwanga describes RB as a true patriot. 12 Zambian students who are stuck in Ukraine are back home. Park chairperson declined to comment on corruption allegations. HH phones ECL to mourn RB and unite the country. UPND official arrested in Mansa for defiling wife's niece aged 13 years. Muslim community in Lusaka calls for concerted efforts in helping the vulnerable. Well, you can also watch this news live on Facebook via our handle Ask Movie TV. We now look at the news in details. Republican President Hakainde Hichilema has decided to give a phone call to immediate past President Edgar Lungu to put their perceived differences and mourn the late fourth Republican President Rupia Bozani Banda in a united manner. Mr. Hichilema has, besides the phone conversation he had with Mr. Lungu, he has also assigned his aides to be briefing Mr. Lungu from time to time for the sake of peace and respect to the former head of state. He says the fourth Republican President Rupia Bozani Banda's shoes are too big for anyone to fit looking at what he did while on earth. Mr. Hichilema has charged Mr. Banda prioritize the country before anything else, hence his legacy must be protected by all, more especially the current crop of politicians. He says Mr. Banda's political journey was full of success and therefore Zambians must be proud of his contribution. Meanwhile, Mr. Hichilema has urged Zambians to accept God's will to take the life of Mr. Banda.
We want to indicate that here, my wife and I, representing our family, representing obviously the nation, are here first and foremost to mourn with the Arabi family, to offer our solidarity, to console the family. Mrs. Banda, the children, all of them, micro-family. Over years, that young lady has become my friend, Dunia. She's grown now, she's a lady, and obviously the twin. But I got to get close to her over the years, long before I ever thought I would be president of this country, years back. And obviously the older children, some of them have been interacting for years, the extended family also. It's unfortunate. And indeed, obviously, the government leaders that are here, represented by Secretary to the Cabinet, that we are in this situation. I was here just a few days ago, and I think it was in a room somewhere there. No, somewhere, where I chatted with President Banda and encouraged him to be strong. And it's unfortunate that God, he who gives, has decided to take. And he takes his. We don't have much of a choice. He gives us life. He takes it. When and how, we don't know. But we accept. We have to accept. I think that's really the message, by and large, I wanted to deliver, that we are with you, family. We are with the nation. And I'm grateful for the words that you've said here, giving us credit, giving this fellow the credit is absolutely inappropriate. I was just performing a duty. But I accept the appreciation. But in retortion, I wish to say that I was just performing a duty, which anyone else in my situation would have been required to perform. But it wasn't just a duty for us, it was compassion as well. I think that's most important. And I wish to say that we drew a lot of guidance from Arabic. Most of you know that this 12th of August last year, 13, 14, 15th of August were very difficult days in the history of our country. And Arabic stood in the middle and kept this country hopeful. And he performed a wonderful function outside there. I think the pool is somewhere inside. What the nation saw was superficial, but behind there he did a lot of work to bring us to the situation that the public all know by now. So we're very grateful for that. We talked unity here in this house. We talked economy in this house. I think for today, I wish to end by encouraging the family to continue with the unity, to coordinate with government. Where we need it, will be available. Where we get stuck, we'll come back to the family through the team that's working with the family, so that we are smooth, we are succinct, we don't demonstrate departure from what he stood for: unity, order. I think that's the best way to remember him. Other things I've said before, that we as a nation should learn from how he desired a better country. But to the broader public, the citizenry, let's work together, let's mourn President Banda. All of us. No divisive issues. There are issues we can tackle and deal with them later. But what are those issues? I don't know. I want to confirm to the Banda family that I spoke to President ECL, asking him that we must all mourn our former president together. I wanted to.
Meanwhile, Mr. Hichilema has urged Zambians to accept God's will to take